Okay, well, I guess that we can just boop for right now, just so we can sync everything, and then, you know, once
Okay.
we're, yeah, then we could just start talking and whatever. Um, Alrighty. 3, 2, 1, boop.
Boop.
Okay, I guess oh no, I need to delete this now.
Leave it up and leave your cursor on the trash can.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we say boop, you click the trash can.
Okay, that was so lame. 3, 2, 1, boop.
Boop.
Oh, right. Okay, I need to drink some water.
Same.
All right. Ugh.
Did you hear that?
I did a little bit.
Sorry.
Get
You like
some-
cannot sneak water out of this. I have a Yeti that like I started putting all of my like ocean and shark stickers on,
Oh, nice.
and you cannot sneak like a sip of water out of it without it clanging around. Welcome
Okay.
back to Pacific Waters Aquarium.
Yes, Pacific Waters. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 4 of Twin Palms. It has been a while.
Did you almost say Balboa?
Oh, I just couldn't remember what the park was called. I knew it wasn't Balboa. I just forgot. But yes, welcome to episode 4. I am joined, as always, by my good friend jAsh.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, episode 4. So episode 3 is basically makes it like a series, right? That's like what it is.
I only signed on for a 4-part deal, so I mean, whatever happens after this is up to you.
Well, then we're hoping that episode 5 is picked up for like another at least 4 episodes. So
Yes, we need them to renew our season.
yeah, it has been a while since we've had another episode. I think our last one was in February or like March.
Yeah, it's been too long, but it's like, I mean, it had to be right. So like, we weren't going to release something that was incomplete or just not right. So
But also, I think because we were going to record like a couple weeks ago, and then we realized that the very important mod that we're going to use for this episode was not working because of the
Right.
Africa update. So we're super excited to show that off. But yeah, so the last episode, I believe we took a look at the seal exhibit, which seems like forever ago. But I think that's what we did last time, right?
yeah, that really seems like it was so long ago.
Yeah, it was literally like 2 DLCs ago.
Oh my gosh.
I think.
Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, because they had the South Asian or Southeast Asian, and then they had the
The African.
the African, which I mean it just came out, so I guess it's not that bad. But yeah, so today we are going to take a look at this area over here. Most of these things are new to you guys. jAsh, you added a lot of this stuff, right?
I did pretty much everything up to the signage that they see ahead.
Okay.
Just
Nice.
when we were still trying to like develop this area and figure out what we wanted it to be. But the idea, when I was browsing around some of the SeaWorld parks, is I really liked, they had portions of the path that were like really, really wide. And there was just like a lot of flow traffic. So that's kind of what I was trying to mimic here.
Yeah, and I guess just to give you guys an idea of like where we are, that is the entry plaza over there and the flamingos, and then over here we have like the starfish and that freshwater aquarium. So this is kind of like it was important for it to be a wide path because it's kind of like a high traffic area, I would think, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's right off the entrance and you have other major exhibits that are right around the same area. So,
So you made these ATMs, which is awesome. We saw those in like the last episode, but I think this is like the first place that you put one.
yeah,
And-
this is the OG ATM.
yes, OG ATM, and it's cool. Like it's awesome that it's functional, one, and then it's just great that we can kind of like copy and paste it everywhere, and then just add like little differences if we want. So
Yeah.
this, I remember this restaurant I was like freaking out about, especially once I found the reference like on my own when I was just like looking at like I think it was SeaWorld Orlando, and I was like,
it's
oh my gosh,
Fins from SeaWorld Orlando.
It's Fins. It's like dead on, almost basically.
Yeah. So this, first and foremost, this looks like a very small restaurant building that could be made in a matter of an hour. It cannot. Every piece on it is really custom, just to try to get the correct angles and stuff. But this is essentially just like a fast, quick service restaurant. And in game it is the pizza pen, but ideally you would queue up in the lines here, and you actually have like a pickup window, which is on the actual building itself as well.
Yes. Yeah, I love that you kind of integrated the line or like the queue into like this just like extra space over here. I think it's like a perfect use of space.
The way I see it is this probably used to be like a gift shop or a candy store or something, and it was just converted to a restaurant over time. So that main door is probably just for staff, and then really there would be no reason for guests to go in. They just go up to that window there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it totally does look like something that like was used as something else. So like they created a different purpose, which is totally something that you would see in like a zoo or a park that is like this old.
And then I know we already kind of passed it, but one thing I do want to talk about those red umbrellas is that I shifted the color on some of them so that they looked more worn, where others looked newer.
Which is totally something that you would see. I mean, they would just bring in a new one, Yeah. That's so funny.
So the brighter ones are intended to be the newer ones, or vice versa. It doesn't matter.
I remember you telling that to me a long time ago. That's awesome. And it's kind of cool to have like, the regular umbrellas in some of the other parts, and then these newer ones. You can just kind of tell like where they decided to invest a little bit of money and then where they just didn't.
Yeah, agreed.
So this whole like kind of path brings you to this new very large exhibit called Crystal Cove. This is pulled like very heavily from SeaWorld San Diego, from their Dolphin Exhibit. There's obviously like a lot of differences, but a big majority of it is from their Dolphin Exhibit.
I will say the first time I saw it in game versus just looking at it on Google Maps, I was like shocked. It is very, very heavily inspired. Almost, I mean, it's not identical, but it's pretty dang close, and I can tell you put like a lot of time and effort into it.
For me personally, this area at SeaWorld San Diego is like one of the areas that I loved the most, like as a child growing up. So being able to create it here was really cool. Especially because you never know when they're just gonna like update it and be like, oh, we're not gonna have it look like that anymore. So
that actually makes a lot of sense now that you told me that, because I can tell, like I said, I can tell that you put a ton of like time and effort into it. So yeah, that's cool to kind of know the backstory.
Yeah. So before I forget, these walls are by Duct Tape Forum, and we kind of just like, manipulated them to make them our own. But I just want to be sure to give credit where credit is due, because on my last video I didn't. So
I know, which was totally unintentional.
Totally unintentional. And I will give full credit once we do another episode of Balboa. But yes, Haribo made those really awesome stone slate walls in the last episode of Balboa. Just putting that out there.
Go download them, guys.
Yes, download them. They will probably be in the link that I'll hopefully put. But yeah, so I was thinking to go this way. This exhibit kind of loops around, but I was thinking that we should start this way.
Yeah, you're driving. Let's go.
Okay.
Wait, I forgot my purse.
Okay.
Just kidding.
All right. So as we approach this building, this is part of the Sea Otter Exhibit. So usually, like if you go to zoos or like marine parks like this, they'll have like the flagship animal. Here is obviously the dolphin, but then they'll always have like a little extra side species, which is cool because that's like, something that like they would share like the same habitat in real life. So
yeah, the appetizer before the entree.
It's like, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would go like because their favorite animal is like the otter, but this is usually just like a small.
You're not coming here to see the otter, essentially.
Right.
It's just like a bonus.
So that was really important for us to do in here as well. And I am happy with how it came out. It's kind of like it was a little bit more difficult because it's like almost impossible to build small exhibits in this game.
It's very small, yes.
So small, but actually like it's still way bigger than the exhibit at SeaWorld. So
interesting.
Yeah, it's really small at SeaWorld, but it still like works for them. So yeah, we did some signage.
I like that.
Yeah. Thank you. Gosh, all of this stuff is so old. I don't remember even making it. We just haven't.
I'll just take credit for it. I made it.
Yeah. jAsh made it.
I did not. Wake up.
They're waking. These guys are so funny.
They are hilarious. I love how they just bob in the water.
Yeah. When you look up close, they're so derpy looking.
And they have those little like chiclet teeth.
Yeah. I remember in one of our save files, you made it save so that like when you opened the game, it was like directly in front of one of them. And it was so funny.
That sounds about jAsh.
Yep. So we have like this little meandering path, which kind of like is at a slope. But it's, it also doubles as like, I guess a handicap entrance too, to this area. And the water here is actually like super deep. You can't tell, but super deep.
Yeah. There's a feeder down there, right?
That's why I ended up doing that. Plus, it was really cool to see them do like the diving and stuff, which obviously they're not doing right now.
I see some new palm trees back there.
Right. I had to do it.
What's the name of that? Came with the Africa DLC, right?
Africa DLC, yeah.
Yeah, those look great. I love the color on them.
Same. It's great that they're not vibrant because you can use them in different biomes.
Exactly, yeah.
Not just like a tropical area, which, sometimes can just get a lot,
I love this overhang here.
Thank you. You know what? I was trying to channel my inner jAsh because I feel like
I'm impressed.
Thank you. Thank you. This took me a long time. Notice the nuts and bolts.
Oh, noted. I saw that the first time I saw it. I was like, oh, wow.
Cool. We'll just not pay attention to the fact that there's nothing supporting this at the bottom. It's just literally laying there, but it's okay.
That's okay.
But yeah, this is just like just another covered area for this exhibit. You'll notice that like as you look at the water level, it starts to like rise a little bit, and that's just because we've kind of the elevation has gotten lower over here.
Yeah, I like that. It's a perfect like half and half. Like you can see underwater well, you can see above the water well.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool to also get those different vantage points.
You got your drains in the floor. Good job.
Right. Drains in the floor. We got some separations in the concrete.
Love that.
And now I feel weird if I like don't do it anywhere else. So if we come down here, we're at.
Why do I feel like I've never been to this portion of it before?
I don't know, because it's probably
this is cool.
Yeah. So we went even deeper. So now we have an even, like now we have a full underwater view, of these guys, which is cool.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
Oh wow, it is deep.
It's super deep, which I think like that's how it would be. Maybe like a little bit more shallow, but I mean,
I would think so. I mean, they're diving creatures, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, it's like I would think that they still need a lot of like room. But yeah. So.
Thank you guys for joining us for episode 4.
Bye.
No, great job. This is awesome.
Thank you. It's kind of difficult to give a tour of this area because there are so many different like entrance points. I think I'm going to take us back up here just to so we can kind of see the the entrance from another way as well.
And at the end, we'll definitely give you guys like an overview, so you can kind of see how everything meanders and connects.
Totally. So if you're just wanting to see the dolphins and you're not interested in the otters, you would just go this way. So here we have all of these lovely curbs, which are a pain.
They are, but they make such a difference.
They do. It's so weird. And I hate that we did this because now we have to do it everywhere.
I know,
But
same.
but
My
it,
bad.
it does look great. No, it totally is your bad, but at the same time, like, I'm glad that we did that.
I still love the little cutouts for the trash cans. Very realistic.
Right? So this is, I mean, it's kind of just like, it's super scenic.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to what we discussed in the last episode of Balboa. There's parts where like part of the experience is like not just the animals, it's like the environment and all the foliage and it's just very like appealing to the eyes, I think.
Yeah. Have you ever been to a SeaWorld park?
I've been to SeaWorld Orlando. It's been a really
Okay.
long time though.
So I don't remember. I mean, I've never been to Orlando, but I just know that at like in SeaWorld San Diego, they always play like soft jazz music.
Yep.
And so I'm just totally picturing like that.
Of course.
Yeah, and maybe, you know, because we can put custom music now, which is cool.
Yeah, that would be sick.
So we should make compile a playlist together of stuff, as well as just like old like 90s and 80s music too.
Heck yeah.
This is kind of like the little plaza of this dolphin area. So over here you have the otter area that we just saw, and then if you go over here, you kind of have an overview of this dolphin exhibit.
I love that you get to you kind of get to see it as you're walking in. Like it's kind of lower than where you're walking in at.
Yeah, it's almost, I mean, it's literally like you are looking at like a lagoon, you know, like in real life. But yeah, so we have some actual dolphins in here, which is so cool. Even they're really wonky. But they're really
can't
cool.
be choosers.
Honestly. Yeah, like they're
Truly.
so truly. It's so cool to see them like, you know, moving and like swimming around and stuff. What are your thoughts on mods?
I look at mods under the understanding of what I just said. Beggars cannot be choosers. Like they don't. You have to understand they're not really supported by the game, I guess. So it's like they're gonna have their own like quirks. But I mean, honestly, the mods that like who are the main ones? Like
Leaf and LionRider.
LionRider, like the models themselves are beautiful. Like this model looks like a real dolphin. It's insane.
It's insane, and seeing like you like taking screenshots in the game with these guys is so cool.
It is, yeah.
But honestly, even though they're wonky, like it is cool just to see them like swim around and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like in some of the in-game models for like Planet Zoo, some of those are wonky. So it's like it's just
True.
It is what it is. And this to me, like a wonky dolphin is like a very like that. It doesn't even like cross my mind just because I have the idea of we have dolphins. Like it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, I think
now it was kind of weird when they would first like just jump out of the enclosure and walk off. So they're like, that was interesting. But I know that we've since, you know, they've allowed us to disable like animals breaking out or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny because you even had to, because I think that this is on the Otter rig, so you had to build some kind of entry point for them to to like, you know, get into the water. But I think that these mods, like once they're in the water, they don't get out unless they want to escape. But yeah, once they're in, I don't think that they really get out because they've never gone to the secret area that I put for them to enter the water.
Nice.
So for me, I think that mods are awesome. Like you said, it's like it's just cool to finally be able to have these kind of animals in the game. I do think that they can get a little complicated. And so for like, you know, maybe for Balboa, I probably won't have a bunch of mods, but I think for this project specifically, Twin Palms, they're very necessary.
For sure.
For what we want to do, because I feel like most of the animals that we're going to have in here are going to end up being modded.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Yeah, I mean that's just what it's going to be. So, you know, it always gets tricky. Like if we end up like, you know, calling in, like if we ever want like Ricey or something to come in and do stuff, like it might be difficult. But it's all good. We'll make it work. But
if there's a will, there's a way. And it just like it kind of I'm just gonna like double down on my stance. I mean, it is what it is, and it's you got to take the good with the bad. And to me, the good significantly outweigh the bad.
Absolutely.
With mods. So
Yes. So a very, very big thank you to Leaf and
Yes.
Nicholas Lionrider for making these and releasing them, because they're awesome, and for also just updating them again for I mean, obviously it wasn't just for us, but thank you for doing that.
Yes, but thank you so much for this. I mean, honestly, this exhibit could have existed without it, but this definitely kind of brought it to life, I feel.
Yeah, that movement for sure was missing.
Let's kind of I think we should take them down,
okay,
and kind of look at some of the viewing areas for the dolphins.
Okay, so before, you already saw this otter viewing area, and we went down the stairs over here, but we do have a ramp over here, so we'll go this way. And I'm going to pray that Tegid Cam works over here.
Is it mostly like just plaster pieces?
Yep. It's plaster pieces, and it's not functional.
It's fine.
Some of this is functional because, okay, so you have to understand, we've been building this for a while. And this was when we only had like art shapes to work with when it came to like implied exhibits. So we didn't think that any of this would be functional. And we were kind of going back and forth on like, do we add, paths and stuff to make it work? But I think just it would throw off the overall aesthetic of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, from now on, when we make other places with modded animals, we'll obviously make it a little bit more functional for guests. But for now, this is fine.
I love these little walls that you made.
Mm-hmm.
And I immediately stole them for something else that I'm working on.
I wanted to make them look old, which is hard to do with the plaster pieces. So these are windows. These are windows that are turned around. You have to make sure that the lights are off though before you build it. Because I built it and I was like, wow, those are bright.
Well, the texture on them is perfect. It just looks like a worn stucco.
Yeah, worn, like maybe a little bit like water stained. And this is one of those, like, if you go to like an aquarium or any of these type of parks, it's like one of those things where like it's the super like lacquered or smooth like concrete that they have, they poured something over it to make it like, not rough or anything. But yeah, I lined it with all of these drains, just,
Bless you.
Obviously like water would be coming out because the water, like, we'll take a look. So it comes all the way to the edge. So basically this is how it is at the parks too. So the dolphins, like wow, I just put my hand up to the screen. The dolphins, the dolphins, they come all the way up to here in real life. They don't do it in the game. They come all the way up to here, and you stand over here and you can like pet them and like feed them and stuff.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. But obviously, like with that, they push a lot of the water out, so it's important to have like some drainage here and then also some drainage here.
Our insurance policy does not cover slip and falls at Twin Palms, so wear your skid-proof shoes.
Mm-hmm. Just don't be stupid.
Correct.
Yeah, if you see water, don't run. What's crazy in SeaWorld San Diego is this used to be like just a whale pool. So they had dolphins. You
told me that.
Yeah, and I think I showed you a picture.
Didn't it have like a pilot whale in it?
Yeah, they had dolphins, pilot whales, and orcas.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and it was literally like this. Like the orcas would just come up and like you can like pet them and stuff. The orcas were nice, but
did you pet one?
Oh no, this was like in like the 70s, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just looking at pictures because I was like, this like would not fly. I mean, even people are not okay with this.
Right.
So yeah, it was very, very interesting. I'll try to find a picture and put it, just because
Yeah, that would be cool.
The past is not great for these parks. You can see over here that we kind of have like different like little holding areas for them. So I made like a gate system that I made them so that they, I guess, swing open, or in this case like go down, because you can see that there should also be one right here too, but it's under here, so it kind of like went down. This whole area over here is kind of like an extra experience that you can purchase where you can swim with the dolphins. So at SeaWorld San Diego, they have this barred off because this is where they have the dolphins like swim with you. Obviously, they don't want it to be connected to the whole rest of it.
So they do that in the real SeaWorld.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you integrated that, because I feel like that is a major part of the exhibit.
This just all the technicalities of this exhibit was so difficult, and then having to make it work for actual animals when I thought that we were done was a lot.
I remember that.
Gosh, I was just like, it was crazy.
Which again, we're not complaining.
No, at all. I mean, a little bit, but not because I was not happy that we got like real animals.
Yeah, I do remember. I mean, this was months ago. We were like, you were practically done. Yeah. And then these beautiful mods came out, and we're like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, I was like,
you gave me that conversation of, so how do you feel about mods? And I'm like, do it.
Yeah, because I know for a while we were like kind of going back and forth.
I love these little step down areas that you have too.
The water obviously couldn't go any higher, and I wanted there to be a slight underwater viewing area, so I just made it like a step down, and just tried to make it that work.
I mean, I think it sells it.
Yeah,
it looks good.
Yeah, and it's just a very slight one. I almost picture this like being an area where like little kids would like to just like, like sit here, like not even use them as steps, but just as like a little seating area.
Yeah, and your mom takes your picture in front of it.
Right, exactly. Absolutely.
And it's always like a really bad photo of you that she has to re-tag you in every year for your birthday on
yes.
Facebook. And
it's so bad. She used to flash. It's the daytime, so you just see the reflection of the flash, and you don't see what's actually in the tank.
Correct.
Over here, as we keep going around, it's basically just the same thing. We have these umbrellas, which I don't think are at the actual park, but
I like them.
Yeah, just needed some shade, I guess.
Yeah, they fit the area really well, I feel.
All right, should we go to the left or should we go up here?
I think we should go up there.
Okay. All right. Okay, so this is an area that you helped with. Thank you very much. This is the Crystal Cove Nursery. So this is basically where all of the small or the baby dolphins would go. I love how this area turned out. This looks so cool. Yeah, I was gonna make some of the dolphins have babies and then put them in here, but I was like, no, because then I have to give them a land area to go on first, and it's just I wanted to keep this area small. But you made the structure, and I love how it looks in this area. It looks like it's a more recent addition, but then like the colors and stuff match, so it like totally goes. It looks great.
So correct me if I'm wrong, because you might have actually seen something like this in person, but I believe you have like a keeper that's up there in the island that kind of gives you like, scientific facts and just talks to the kids and like, you know what I mean? Just like gives you a presentation, and it's you can hear it on the speakers that are mounted on the outside of the structure if you're not like right there.
Yeah. Yep. They're always they're always telling you like little facts, but then they're also like screaming at you to only use 2 fingers when you touch the animals.
we need a sign that says 2 fingers.
Did you build you didn't build the retaining walls? I think that's something that I added because I think we made it a little bit bigger.
When I made it, it was initially just I want to say it was just a square.
Oh, okay.
And you kind of made it like a big peanut shape.
Yeah, just to make it a little bit more organic, as well as give them a little bit more space, I think.
Well, the more that I learn about these things is I think I want to say for like sharks and dolphins and orcas, like they need curved tanks so that they don't run into the edges of like a corner of a glass.
Absolutely. And I think, when it's curved, it's really good for like, to simulate like currents and waves and stuff.
Yeah.
That's not something you can necessarily do in like a super squared off tank. I love these details over here. It looks awesome.
I even put I was inspired by your bolts that are on your awnings over there. So you have bolts on the columns or whatever that's called.
I love it. And you changed the color of the roof because it was like a blue before.
Yeah, I did. So before it was like a royal blue. And then I really loved like you have this teal like seafoam green kind of color scheme going on. So I wanted to kind of play off of that a little bit.
I feel like that's the only color I use in this game.
Well, it's perfect. It's exactly what we're going for.
Yeah. And here you see those walls again by duct tape.
Yeah, those look amazing.
They're really they're so, I mean, they're really, obviously they're not like simple, but it's just like a bunch of wood pieces, and then I kind of put like the plaster pieces on top to make it look a little bit more like finished and stuff. But it really reads as like shutter, like not a what are those called, shingles, like a shingle wall.
It's almost like a cedar plank. So
yes.
It's identical to the wall that's at like the actual exhibit at SeaWorld.
Yeah, and once I saw these walls, I was like, oh my gosh, we could do it now. So this building over here is basically where you go to like make your reservations for that dolphin experience where you can swim with them. And this is like where everyone, I think, like would group up before going. Maybe they would change into like their wetsuits and stuff over here.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, we have just like, little, just I can't talk today.
I see what you're saying. It's just like a little like a gathering area. It's like out of the way. It's not in any exhibit to where you're going to be like messing up the flow of traffic or anything.
Yes.
Did I get that right?
Yes, because I can't talk today. Just a little common area. There's nothing special about it. But this is so basically it's like the animal experience building. It's where you go. I don't know if it would, I'm assuming it would just be for the dolphins. I don't know if you would necessarily go here if they have like, a swimming thing with other animals, but it could be if there's like another exhibit that's close by that does that as well.
Maybe. I mean, I could see where it could, as you're buying tickets for the dolphin experience, they may try to upsell you on like another experience, and if they've already got you in the sack there, they're just going to sell it to you.
Yeah, that's so true.
Give you like a voucher to take to that exhibit.
Yeah, because I know that they have a lot of like SeaWorld has a lot of, or not a lot, but they have like a like orca dining experience too, where like you can eat like right next to the orcas and stuff, which
that's so cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. But with this building, I also wanted to make it look like it was like repurposed. Like it looks like they like took out a window,
yeah,
but like left like the siding there and stuff. So
sidebar,
yes.
Can we do that when I come visit?
What, the dining experience?
Eat with the orcas?
Yes. Oh my
God. Would be
God.
so lit.
Yes, let's 100% do that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm adding it to my Palm Pilot now.
Oh, okay. We have our first billboard.
Ooh.
Yes. So my wife actually made this.
She's the best.
Yeah.
It's got the Twin Palms logo on it.
Yeah. Does it look legit?
Dang.
Yeah. So I basically told her like I want to have something where we can kind of have like the overall like branding, I guess, for the park, and then maybe just switch out pictures here and there, and obviously like switch out text.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I found like whatever they have on their website, and then we just like kind of copied that text and put it into here with like our own Twin Palms design.
I think my favorite is at the bottom where it says children under 48 inches must be accompanied by a paid adult. Additional fees apply. Yeah. So this is and it
cool.
says the dolphin encounter participants meet here. Yeah, this is cool. This is perfect. I love this.
Okay, cool. And so it's awesome finally being able to use these little billboard things that you made. Because they've just been blank. And we have so many of them in the park, so it'll be kind of cool to fill them up. I have to give you obviously like this picture so that you can put it in. But yeah,
cool.
It's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, this is exciting. I wasn't expecting that, so that makes me happy.
Yeah. So if we turn around very slowly, God,
there's a bush.
There's a bush. Okay. Oh my God, I'm still turning.
Great view.
Yes, so we have more of these views.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's so good. It's so great. I'm going to try and unpause again. This episode is a mess on my part, but it's okay. The next episode is going to be on Josh's channel, and it's going to be on a better computer.
Allegedly.
Every time we've done one on yours, it's better.
But we keep adding stuff, so who knows?
True. A conspiracy. Yeah, so I this is one of my favorite views of this exhibit.
Yeah, this looks fantastic.
But over here we have like this little and you made this. It is I guess like an amphitheater kind of seating, or like slight stadium seating.
Yeah, some kind of little like stadium situation happening. Because I don't know if I would assume at some point in time maybe they get out here and do some kind of show, or at least a presentation. Yeah. Where they kind of tell you more about the dolphins and maybe where these were rescued from, if they're, being released back into the wild at some point in time. Something just to feel like you're doing more than just like looking at them.
Totally. I think presentation is the correct word, because I feel like the term show with these parks has become
seems like a money grab.
Yeah. It's a scandalous word to use.
Scandalo.
So this is actually something that isn't at SeaWorld San Diego, so I think it's kind of cool. This is like our own Twin Palms edition, as well as the nursery over here. That's a Twin Palms edition as well.
When we were looking at the main exhibit from this direction earlier, I feel like you can really see the size of it. Like at every other spot we've looked at, we're just kind of looking at a piece of it. But when we're looking at it from this angle, you can really see like how big it actually is.
Yeah, it goes like pretty far back there. You can see the secret area where I have the dolphins enter. Yeah, right. It's just wonderful. Yeah, you can see all of the. It's cool to see the whole exhibit, as well as like all of the little viewing areas, and it's one of those things too where it's like it gives you that sense of exploration. You're like, wow, I want to go over there because I bet that's like a really cool view and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
As well as this like upper viewing area too, which we'll see later. Also,
I do just enjoy like the layers of the foliage.
Same. Especially as we keep getting new ones, because we wait like 2 full DLCs to show anything. So it's really cool. Something for me that I love and that's really satisfying is when you look at the water level here and then you look at like this path that goes right up next to it. And then like this other path that is like up here, that is like so satisfying to me, because this looks like clean. And it's just sinking, having to put the glass in and then sinking it super low. It's so time consuming, but
anybody who knows that playing with the water and the barriers in this game is not fun at all.
You almost just don't want to even mess with it.
You almost don't want to mess with it at all, but it's like it's one of those things that if you really take your time and do it, you get a payoff like this, which let's be real.
Yeah.
This looks great.
Thanks. It ended up being worth it. I was scared that we were gonna take all this time and then like it just wasn't gonna look good. It was gonna almost look like we tried too hard to make it work. But it ended up looking effortless, which is I guess a good thing. But
kudos, man.
Thanks. So we're gonna go out here for a little bit. This is basically like another entrance to the area. So you have we're kind of seeing some of that stuff.
It's okay. All that's going to change, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. Story of our lives with this game.
Right.
So we're out here for a little bit, but I just kind of want to show you some of this stuff on the side that is obviously new to you guys. Just like this extra landscaping up here is just really nice looking, as well as this other entrance that is up here. So there's like 3 entrances into this area, and they all just kind of like, obviously lead to the same area.
Well, this exhibit / area, it's completely surrounded, so it's like you have access to it from every direction of the park, which I like, because you can use it as like a cut through. if you've already seen it and you're just trying to quickly get back to the entrance without having to walk all the way around it or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, this is just, I'm going to go back onto the route that we were at, but these are just like cool other, extra views that you can see. All right, cool. So we're back at the back of that reservation area.
I love how also like vanilla this this little bench area is.
Right. Yeah.
It's like this is exactly how it would look though. You're not gonna have like tons of like flowers and like shit around it.
At most, I can see maybe taking these out and putting some of those like tiny frozen ball little stands, but yeah, for now it's just, this is going to be, I'm not going to turn around, but this is going to be kind of, I think, like another little plaza that is going to take you to other bigger exhibits, so it kind of works.
A really big one.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure you can guess what that is.
That's your only hint.
Yep. This path obviously is going to have more stuff on this side. I think this is going to be more of like a hillside. It's not really going to be able to see into another exhibit, but it looks really weird right now, so I just wanted to kind of cover that up. Yeah, so we have more of these little underwater areas over here. I'm not going to go down here just because it's kind of the same thing. We have underwater viewing here again, more of these covers. We have that little stadium seating that we saw. I was really making sure that everything was like ADA. That's what it is, ADA, right?
Yeah.
ADA appliant.
ADA compliant.
Yes, ADA compliant.
ADA appliances.
ADA compliant. Yeah. So I made sure to like put ramps and make sure that everything works so that everyone could go all around the exhibit, and it's not just, for people that
for able-bodied people.
Yeah, because that's not fun.
No, and that's not realistic either. So
true. Yeah. So just kind of taking that little extra step of making it a little bit more realistic was worth it. It looks nice.
Yeah, for sure. Agreed.
Yeah. ADA appliance. Okay. Appliances. ADA appliances. You got to make sure that those appliances are useful for everyone.
Yeah. Let's be fair now.
Right. Okay. So as we're up here, there's just so many little areas to view this from.
This is one of my favorites.
Same.
I love this one up here.
Yeah. Same.
I also feel like it kind of puts you in there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also just loved kind of like using a different texture for the path. It kind of breaks it up a little bit. That's a very little detail, but yeah. So this area totally brings you like into the middle of it, which is so cool. Gives you this also gives you like a 360 view of the exhibit for the most part.
Same.
Right. I love kind of just taking in like all the different levels and obviously the dolphins, and I just picture people walking down here. Yeah, it'll be awesome.
Yeah, people like standing around and petting them and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, come here, come here.
Come here, Flipper.
Yeah, so over here, this is basically the area where they would take you to do the Dolphins experience. So you would basically go in here. They might have like a little like spiel that they would give you, and then
don't pee in the water.
Yeah, right.
Don't be aggressive with the dolphins. If I tap you on the shoulder, get out of the water.
Yes. So it's basically just like this ramp that literally goes into the water. Yeah, and then you just get to like swim in there with them. It starts off really shallow over here, which you'll see like once we do like an aerial view. It starts off really shallow, and it's cool because it almost makes like a gradient, like when you're looking above. And...
I love your stone steps.
Thank you. Those are actually like already just steps that are available in the game, made out of stone.
Oh,
yeah. They're step pieces.
Huh.
Oh, wait, no. Maybe they're not. I don't know.
I know there's a plaster piece that has the steps.
Yeah,
That
you know
was part
what?
of the Africa DLC.
Mm-hmm. And this was
I,
obviously
I
made
swear
up.
we played the game, y'all.
Yeah, yeah. At this point, though, I'm trying to remember if we actually do play the game or if we just open this and there's new things added every time.
Plot twist. Somebody else has actually been doing all of our work.
We have ghost builders.
Ghost builders, shut up.
I mean, yeah, we don't. We
Time
don't.
out. Pause. Stop right here. Can I just
Okay.
tell you, the slight elevation change and the curve in the path that you have made this custom curbing a pain in my ass.
But
this took me like 2.5 hours just to curb this big like curve in the path.
that's so nice of you that you did that, though, because can we talk about like the conversations we had where I was just like, I'm almost done, but there's just like, some curbing and then I'll be done.
I'm like, oh no, that sucks.
No, okay, you might have thought that, but you were like, oh, I'll help you with some of that. And I was
Yeah,
like,
because you like created this masterpiece. I'm like, the least I can do is freaking do some curbing.
I would rather create the exhibit than do this, though. That's how much, like, I'm lazy, and I've said before, I'm lazy when it comes to this game, as you can tell with how I put this together. Yeah, the curbing looks great. You don't really see a lot of the exhibit from here, mostly because this isn't supposed to be an area where you're supposed to like loiter and like stand around, but you get little glimpses, which I love.
Yeah, I feel like if I saw like civilians and they're like swimming with dolphins as I'm walking down, I'm like, wait a minute now.
I can go in
I want to do that.
Yep.
So it's like it shows you just enough
Yeah.
to like show some interest. And then the same with this this larger overlook over here, which is probably it's at least my second favorite. There's so many like good like viewing areas that you've created, but I really like this one.
Thanks. I think obviously it has a lot to do with the way that the original one is laid out. There are big differences, but I just wanted to kind of get that same feel. But it is cool, like even seeing like the staff workers, because this part is functional. Like, guests in the actual like zoo can come up here and look at the animals. And also, I did make this upper deck over here that this has actual paths, so people can look over here, and then they can also look at the otters like down here. So it is functional for the most part, just not like right up here. So let's go ahead and go on up here. This is a more recent addition. This was kind of like when we were just like, oh, I didn't finish the slots. It's okay. This is when we're kind of just like, let's tie up this area.
Yeah.
We're ready to show it off. You made this bathroom.
And now I'm trying to remember what I based it off. It's off of somewhere.
It's off of a bathroom that is at SeaWorld San Diego, because I recognized it when you put it in. I think I just went in and I added like these details up here. But a lot of this other stuff was already here.
Yeah, I'm glad you found a place for it, because where I was initially putting it at, it wasn't going to work. And I was like, dang, I really like it. And I was kind of bummed that we weren't going to be able to use it. So I'm glad that you found a place for it.
Cool. Yeah. And honestly, like this is also one of those buildings that's so generic that we can literally use it somewhere else too, if needed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun kind of like taking something that you made and then like slapping on some of these like, other details. Yeah. So this is just like a little like resting area. Oh yeah. He was about to go in that drain.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So this is just one of those areas too. Like a lot of these walls obviously can like double as like benches, which I think is perfect to be like right outside of the restrooms.
I think in like a big exhibit like this, like I feel like you need space whenever you're exiting it or entering it.
Yeah.
To where you can just like recollect yourself with your group, give your eyes a break for a second, and like make sure you got everybody before you move on to the next big thing.
Right. Yeah. Make sure you got your whole like, group together with all of your matching shirts.
Correct. The
yeah.
family reunion shirts.
Yes. Where they have like, even if they're going to SeaWorld, they have their family name in the Disney font. I love that. But yeah. So, and I think that we've talked before, like even in the last Balboa episode, that it's so important to have like these little kind of more empty areas where there's more space, just like you just said, to give your eye a break from everything else. So
I mean, as obviously like playing the game, when you're playing the game in your mind, you're like, okay, what can I put here, like animal wise? And it's like, no, there needs to be space where you just like don't have anything.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. This, I imagine that this is like also like backstage access over here. But we're just imagining it right now because it's not there.
Right.
Yeah, so this little viewing area kind of went through multiple like iterations. I wasn't happy with like the first 2 that I did, which are underground, just in case I ended up not liking this one.
No, this one definitely looks the best.
Yeah, I agree. So in here is like a staff area, and over here you have this viewing area, very janky. There is like this there's this like more aesthetically pleasing like wood fence over here. Then you have a glass barrier, and then you have like this metal bar, maybe
Just
so
in
that
case.
you don't have to touch the glass. Yeah, just in case. Which is something that they have at the actual at SeaWorld, which is a detail that I liked.
Yeah, hey, you never know.
No, you never know. And then over here, this is another detail that they had, where like you're basically like listening to them. I don't know if it's actually giving you like a feed from underneath the water, or if it's just playing dolphin sounds.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So we
I love your wires going across the ground
Thank you.
and up the wall.
Yes, I was like, oh, I nailed this. But yeah, I love how this area came out. I think it looks pretty real. It's very satisfying.
Yeah, it makes it interactive, and that's cool.
Yeah. I also imagine it to like maybe not even work now. You know what I mean?
Well, correct.
Right.
Or you press the button and it's like a gargling sound that like it just doesn't even work anymore.
Yeah, or it plays it for just like 1 second and like nothing else happens.
And every time you tell like a staff worker, they're like, "Oh no!"
They're like, "Oh no!"
Like you're not the 100th person that's told them that in the last hour.
It doesn't work. Just letting you know.
Okay. Oh my God. No, thank you.
Like,
We'll definitely tell my manager.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's that little viewing area. And I think like when it comes to just like exhibit design in general, it's really important to have obviously like these different viewing areas, but I feel like it's also really important to make sure that each viewing area just feels different. So
yeah,
it's like its own little experience, and it makes you want to experience the exhibit from every single little vantage point.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think
you could easily spend over an hour here.
Oh yeah,
I think
for sure. This was that little staircase that brings you another staircase that brings you down to the Otter exhibit over there. If we go this way, we're basically like almost done with our tour of this exhibit.
What are we right back at the Otter Nursery?
Yes, so we're at the Otter Nursery. The Otter Nursery, there's not much to see, just because I didn't really want to like make an interior for it.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's not the showpiece over here. I think it serves its purpose, I feel.
Yeah. I love how they tried to go with like a little like theme, like maybe like Northern Californian theme, but like it just it just reads like outdated, and I love that, especially with this fence.
Perfect.
I don't know if you noticed, but like adding these like other like colors into here, it almost makes it look like it's like little patches.
Okay, so I figured that's what you were going for. I'm like, it doesn't really make a design, so I'm assuming that these are pieces that have been patched over the years.
Patched, and like they couldn't color match it, and they didn't even bother.
Perfect.
Yeah, so this is basically like you would either use that ramp or just take a step up here and put that guy in the window.
So what's the idea? Is that there would be like an indoor like maybe you don't go in there, but you can just see them like feeding the otters and just
Yeah.
like playing with them and working with them.
Do you know what it literally looks like in like a hospital where you see all of like the babies?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, like they're
Okay, work.
little. And I think that they might have like a little water area, but it's mostly just like them like feeding, like bottle feeding them and stuff. It's cute.
They're probably like playing in like a hot pink plastic pool from Big Lots.
Yes. Yeah, or even
You know which
just
ones
like,
I'm talking about?
Yes, 100%. Or even it might even just be like a big like plastic crate where like you usually like put it under your bed to keep to put stuff in.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't think it's anything that crazy. It might be better now. The last time I saw this exhibit was a long time ago, because every time I've been recently, like it's always like closed off. So I don't know if they're like refurbishing it or whatever, but yeah, some simple signage. It's really simple. This is like a simple building, but I think it works.
I personally feel like you knocked this exhibit out of the park.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, and you helped a lot. And I think I feel bad because I feel like a lot of like this episode. Well, no, the last episode was a joint effort, but I feel bad because this episode was mostly like my build. So, but we are both building, other exhibits too, and I'm excited to show off like what you're building as well.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I think I told you. I know I've told you like one-on-one because we talk like every day.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I also mentioned it in the latest episode of Balboa. I've just been like, I've had my own stuff going on.
Yeah.
And it's been really, really hard to try to find the time to even like have some time to play the game, but then B, also it's just like what's going on is just like totally killed my creativity. So I'd rather not force anything, and seeing your stuff definitely gets me inspired.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you. I think that you have to have a certain amount of bandwidth to play to get into the game and to get building stuff. And if you don't feel that even just a little bit, like there's no use, because then you're just wasting time at that point.
Exactly.
Shall we do like an aerial view?
I think so. I think I would like for everybody to see kind of how all of these entry points kind of intermingle and connect with one another. This place is huge.
Wow. Okay. It's been a while since I've looked at it from this angle. Yeah, so this is really large, especially when you look at the size of like the animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, I mean, you can see a person right there down like dead center at the bottom of the screen.
Yes, right here.
I mean, that's yes. Mm-hmm. This area is massive.
Yeah. It is. But you can kind of see, I mean, it's really necessary. Obviously, these dolphins, I would feel like obviously they need more space than this.
Yeah.
Like the ocean. But for this was built in the past. They're not really breeding them anymore. They're doing their part. They rescue animals.
Right.
And yeah, this is to me, this looks like super realistic. Obviously following the layout basically of the existing exhibit, but adding these like separate things over here and still making it work and flow. I'm really happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, I mean it looks amazing.
I'm happy with it, and I'm happy to just be done with it.
So I do like I want to point out that gradient there in the Dolphin experience. You didn't change those colors. That's just naturally how it gets deeper, right?
Yeah. And yeah, so none of these, like, it's all the same blue going up, but it was really cool once we had the ability to change the color of the water. Changing it to like a little bit more of like an aqua blue really made that gradient stand out even more. So I love how that turned out. I also just something that was really hard for me, but it's not hard for you because you do it like really well, is just like adding these like little janky details. And to me, even though it's not like, it's not movable or anything, but even just like stuff like this adds a lot of life. So we changed like one of the workshop things to make these little cabinets.
I want to say, and I could be totally wrong, and if I am, I'm sorry. I want to say it was like an electrical cabinet by Mr. Domez, I think. Yeah. That we just kind of repurposed and recolored to look like those Rubbermaid like storage containers.
Yep, and that you can see that they're everywhere. So this is where, so you basically would walk down here, you walk over here, and then everyone sits here. And I think this is where they like, this is where they have like a talk with you, and then you end up going in here, and then you like have them like swim with you and stuff.
Have you ever done this?
No, I've only witnessed it.
Dang. Is it like, is it really, really expensive?
It's really expensive. And also, I don't know if it would be extremely like worth it at this park.
I gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because it's like, it's really janky. But maybe, are you interested in doing that?
Yeah, kind of.
Ooh, fun.
It depends. If it's like $200, then probably not.
I think it is.
Yeah, if it were like $50 or $75, I would probably entertain it.
Ooh, okay. We'll look. Because I think it is of the expensive nature, but it also could just be my mom, like when I was little, telling me that to just get us to not do it.
The same way my mom told me those chrome Pokemon, like the large Pokemon balls from Burger King in the 90s were $25. They were $2. I just realized that, and I'm devastated. You know what I'm talking about? They had they were huge, and they had the gold-plated like Pokemon card on the inside.
I know 100% what you're talking about.
I wanted them so bad, and my mom was like, "No, they're like an arm and a leg," and I'm like, "Okay." And then me and my friend at work, we were just like looking at them. They were literally like $2. I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Isn't it so funny, like being an adult and then finding out how much things cost even back then when your parents were like, no, that's too expensive. It's like, I would have bought this like without even thinking. I would have bought
one of each. Yeah.
Right. I would have bought separate kids meals just to get all of these.
Yes. I would have bought one to play with and one to not open and collect.
Yes.
But yeah, again, I mean, I can't say it enough, man. You did a great job.
Thank you.
I hope you're satisfied with it, because I know you've just looked at it like entirely too much, and I hope you can still appreciate it.
Yeah, it's I really do enjoy how it looks, and I think kind of like seeing it with the new eyes after not looking at, because I didn't look at it for a while, like a whole month. I just didn't play. And then kind of adding the mods back in, adding some of like these new trees, and even like the billboard kind of makes you see it with like a new point of view. So I'm so glad this is done. I never want to touch it again, but it makes me excited for like other things that we're going to do in this project.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, hoping that our computers don't explode. I blame the amount of water that we have and all of the like different like technical things that come with that, like the animals having to be in it. It definitely
doesn't help, all the water, but I mean, hey, what's a SeaWorld inspired park without water?
Right. So this is a large amount of space that we've already taken up.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're looking at your Dolphin exhibit to the left, in comparison to, say, the sea lions, which is where that lighthouse is in that big blue building, like it makes the sea lion exhibit look like a keychain.
It does, but also when you're close to the sea lion exhibit, it still looks big.
Yeah, it feels very large. It is large. That's what I'm saying. Like the dolphin area is huge.
Yeah, it is huge, and it's crazy that that's not even going to be, the dolphin exhibit is not even going to be the biggest exhibit when it comes to water.
Yep.
So that'll be fun. I feel like that's going to be the last thing we make.
It might have to be, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I think it will, because I almost feel like even just computer-wise, that might just kill our game. Are you happy with how everything is looking? I think everything is looking so nice.
Yeah, I really am. And one thing I was just kind of thinking to myself, I'm really glad the park has aged well with the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I look at some of my OG like Planet Coaster builds and some of my OG Planet Zoo builds, and I'm like, which I did that. And then now I look at it and I'm like, ew. So I'm glad that everything that we've done thus far, I feel like it's aged well with the game.
Yeah. So this still looks, in all of the different things that we've made, I think that everything looks cohesive. You can't really tell that this dolphin area is newer than the seals. Like they all look pretty cohesive.
Yeah, agreed.
Which is satisfying and it's exciting. So next up, like, what are we thinking of doing?
We're gonna be doing sea turtles.
Yes.
And you and I are currently working on, I guess it's technically a joint exhibit because we both have an idea, and these two things would be housed in the same area, right?
Yes, now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I think the sea turtles would come first, and then after that, we would start to kind of button up and tie up the loose ends on like a shark/stingray area, which I cannot wait for because I love me some sharks and stingrays.
Yes, same.
And sea turtles.
yes. I feel like the sharks, or at least the ideas that we have for the sharks and the rays, I'm really excited for because I feel like it's also going to be like really interactive. Maybe not functional, but I just think it's going to look really cool. And for that, we're kind of going like off, we're going a little bit rogue. Like we're not really basing it off of anything at SeaWorld, at least. So that
and
really cool.
If anybody who is gifted in the modding realm, if you feel like making a black tip reef shark, that would be cool.
I think that there is.
Stop.
You need to look at all of the stuff that Leaf has made.
Well, does he have a black tip reef shark?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll look when we're done here. But yeah.
Don't get my hopes up.
Yeah. I could like fully be accidentally lying to you.
If y'all feel the ground shake, Remnant lied to me.
That's him slamming his door.
Correct.
And opening mine.
That's me, Thanos snapping my door off.
Yes. Yes.
Is that on that? On Mary Had a Little Lamb?
I think so. Yeah, I don't think that there's anything else. But yeah, this has been episode 4. We're super excited. For you guys to see a little bit more. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't think it's going to take as long as the break that we had. We had a lot of things that we were doing. So in real life. Yeah. But yeah, I think, obviously whatever the wait is, it'll be worth it. But we hope that you guys enjoyed. Do you have anything else to say?
No, thank everybody for joining us. I think hopefully they enjoyed it. I feel like they would. But if you liked it, just make sure you let us know in the comments. And if there's something that you think you might want to see, whether it be like honestly, I'm thinking maybe even like these smaller like pocket exhibits like the otters were. Something like that. If you'd like to see it, we would love to at least entertain the idea of integrating it somewhere.
Yeah, and there's with mods now, there's so many like different possibilities. So I feel like when it comes to Twin Palms, I am totally okay with just going crazy with mods. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Especially because this is like a collaboration between you and I feel like it'll be less complicated because we're just handing it off to each other rather than like if we're gonna hand it off to like a bunch of different builders. Yeah, I think we're good, and I think it's gonna be fun to like see all those, even if it just looks great in like pictures.
Exactly.
Yeah, and also like in the comments, like feel free to just kind of comment on things that you find like nostalgic when it comes to these type of parks, because that's something that I like to talk to people about.
Yeah, of course, and it honestly may spark make a creative spark for us to try to integrate it.
Yeah,
if it's something architectural.
Architectural, or even like because obviously we're basing a lot of this off of like the SeaWorld parks, but if you have like some janky like marine park or aquarium like where you are, like no matter where you guys are like in the
Yes.
world, like let us know and we'll like look at pictures of it and stuff. And even if we don't put it in here, it's always cool to like look at that stuff. And
Even if it's Gatorland.
yes, dude, I
love
looked at
Gatorland.
I totally like looked at that on Google. I was like, this place is crazy. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure please to subscribe to jAsh, because I don't think I said that in the last one, but subscribe to him because the next one is definitely going to be on his channel.
And like this video.
Yes, like it, share it. If you have other like people that are interested in just marine parks in general, show them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we hope that you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you guys soon. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Gatorland?
That's an actual place, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in Florida. It's
yes.
cool.
Okay, that's the one I looked at. For some reason, I won't even put this in. For some reason, like for a split second, I thought that you were talking about like the land that they went to on the Goofy movie, but that was like
Oh
a
my
whole
god.
other thing.
I love that like the height of your like pop culture references revolve around Goofy movie. That makes me so happy.
But that's like, I don't remember what it's called. It wasn't like Armadillo Land or something.
Yes, that sounds right.
Okay.
Hold on. I need to Google it.
Okay, I knew you were talking about Gatorland because that's what I imagined, but I was like, wait, was he like referencing a movie?
Lester's Possum Park.
Yes. Yeah, and remember like when they go in, Max like just keeps like looking at that like little girl that's like going like crazy and like
Oh my
like,
god, they have t-shirts.